Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Legacy Room. On today's episode, we'll be discussing something very, very relatable, either as parents, guardians, as Mummy GO is here, church members,
or even like you, mosque members.
You have that one safe in jail. So basically, we're going to be discussing educational trust. So, like I said, we pay school fees, we assist people in paying school fees, tuition, monthly upkeep. People like me, the Prince, Senator, he has a very long payroll on a monthly basis. People that he sends to school, he also needs to ensure that they are properly taken care of. All of this conversation is what we are going to have today. What's the best way to structure all of these things? My name is Mutiat. Some people call me Cappone. And I have my regular victim on the show with me, Rotimi, Ro and Cappone. I have my prayer warrior, powerful, strong, amazing lawyer, pastor, Bolanle, Mummy GO, and of course, my senator, Adeni.
The prince himself.
Yeah, the prince himself, the one and only.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start with my prince. What is an education trust?
So an education trust is an arrangement that seeks to protect the education of stated beneficiaries against future occurrence or circumstances that might arise.
English, grammar.
I thought that was short and concise.
Short and concise.
Like they say in law, short enough to cover the
Okay. Describe it like a...
Yes, long enough to... Yes, enough to cover the subject matter, but short enough to... I can't remember, really. Let's not just go around. Okay.
Okay, so what I can really hear, though, is no matter who you are, no matter your state in life, no matter how educated or uneducated you are, you can actually have a dream regarding the education of your children or loved ones and achieve it via an education trust. So I was saying something about my my brother-in-law,
Okay.
who, when my niece was still less than a year old, one day was just talking and he said, by the time this girl is grown, she's going to go to Harvard. He was saying it in Ikorodu. And, right now, he's very close to the dream because, the girl is a teenager now and they're going to achieve it. It was something he had in mind, and he positioned himself for.
Is it the dream or the Harvard? Which one exactly are we going to achieve?
He's going to achieve the Harvard.
Okay.
Yes.
He has the finance for it.
Yes, he has the means. Because he's been thinking about it.
He probably had a number of years to plan for it.
It was a dream, and it's going to come true. They've jackpot, so they are closer to
They are closer to Harvard than
the dream. Now when they started,
So whether she's schooling in Harvard or she's in Harvard, they're Harvard.
They're close because the man sat down one day and said, "This thing I'm going to do it," and that's what the trust does for you. Puts you in a position to have a dream like that when it comes to education. Where you can even not be as educated as these children. I'm sure he didn't go to Harvard, but he had that dream, and because of something like a trust, it's going to come to pass.
Yeah, so I like the perspective, the dream.
Yeah.
But what starts the dream in education trust is us helping you with a projection. So I'm sure that if I had met your uncle 18 years ago or your brother-in-law,
My brother-in-law
would have said to him that 18 years ago, maybe school fees in Harvard was close to $15,000 per session. Now you are looking at $45,000-$50,000. In some courses, $60,000. So over an 18-year period, would have been able to do him a projection, calculate how much he will pay as school fees. And he would have started saving, not in Naira, but in dollars. And so by now, like you said, and unlike what she said, you are seeing Harvard,
and
you are seeing your money,
and you
are telling yourself that,
Harvard.
So education trust, like Nia said, is you put money aside, invest that money, Trust is an arrangement between you, the creator of the education plan, and the institution, corporate institution that is going to manage that
plan.
education plan. And then because it's education, everything is tailored towards achieving the fact that your niece will go to Harvard.
Okay, so Nia said, "Oh, put funds aside." Rotimi has brought another twist to it. Put funds and invest. I can be keeping the money under my pillow. I can have colo in my house and be putting the money inside. Does that mean that in my own little way, I have a trust already? Really?
So putting money under your pillow doesn't necessarily guarantee the purpose. So tomorrow you might oversleep or
Undersleep.
and somebody stumbles on the money, you can lose it. Another thing is that the money is not growing under your pillow. So with the proper trust, with an education trust, you have the money is invested, you are generating something. So it's not just what you put into it, but it also grows. And also it shouldn't also be restricted to money. You could have assets, properties, income generating assets, whereby rental income comes. We even have people that would say, okay, you know what, I have these properties. When my first child goes to the university, sell one, because the cost of that one would cover through, so that not just the funding now, not just the finance, the cash, but assets also, shares, properties could also be used to secure.
But I like to say that because it's education trust, and you set it up with an institution, it's important that our listeners, viewers, anyone watching this podcast or listening to it, know that because it's education trust, you can only use it for education. You can't wake up one morning and say they are buying a shoe in my office.
Release the money.
Give me 5,000 naira out of that education trust account, or $5,000. Of worst case scenario, you want to remember, they want to do remembrance of your late grandfather, mother's, uncle's, brother, sister, and you just think that that's the place you can go and draw money
How
from.
will you know that that's what I want to use the money for? It's my money now, so I'll just send in a request
So
and
that's the
say.
idea.
So I think the way the education trust also works is
Yeah.
that it channels it for education and education related expenses.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
for as long as the trust has been properly set up, disbursements from the trust goes for that purpose.
Thank you.
So no individual can make requests and say,
So
pay
you won't
me.
pay to me.
No, I won't pay to you as an individual.
Oh,
I'll pay to the
really?
institution.
Want us to
That's
pay
the
to
attraction.
Yes, now.
Why?
Not my money.
Because paying to you is actually a breach of what we would have executed
objects of the trust.
in the trust.
I remember, sorry, Lobana, Mummy GO. I remember one particular scenario, and when I remember this morning, I said I was going to say it, of a situation where one of our clients, he didn't have a trust. He had a will, and by the time the will was read, went through probate.